sitting very awkwardly here for this episode of the Called the Parent podcast. I am Andy.
And I'm Ginna.
There you go. That was nice. I didn't even have to prompt you for that.
You just gave me eyes.
I did. Yeah, I looked at her across the room. You can't see what we're doing in my studio right now, but it's a little messy. I need to clean up a couple of things. She just gave me eyes back. But this is episode 6 from chapter 6 of Paul David Tripp's parenting book. It's an interesting chapter. This is a chapter that I think a lot of younger parents with younger children, maybe not younger parents, but parents with younger children have to struggle through and get through. And the idea behind the entirety of this show so far is just kind of giving you practical tips and steps and tricks and hints along the way as to how to raise your children. And one of the things that I think parents come up against is the idea of, I talked to my kid and he should immediately be better.
One and done.
One and done. Yeah, absolutely. Like I automatically just talk to my kids and like now they should be the best kids in the world, right? And the idea here is that change is part of what we do as parents. We change ourselves, but we also help our kids change because kids don't know what they don't know.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like raising a puppy, right?
I don't know about that.
It's change is a process. It's not an event.
Yeah.
And
I think the puppy listens better.
You think the puppy listens better?
Yeah.
I mean, probably. But parenting is not about just add water and hey, we've got the best kids in the world. It's not about instant results. You're parenting for long-term formation. I think one of the things that I have a unique perspective because you did a lot of the hard work with our 3 kids. Do you want to explain that just
situation?
A little bit? Yeah.
Well, I was married before.
Not to me.
No, not to you.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the before part.
Mm.
Had 3 kids and raised them pretty much myself, even though he was there at the house.
Not me. The other.
The other one.
Yeah.
But no, I did the raising. I did the disciplining. I did the guiding. I did the praying. I mean, I did all of it. Mm. And then you came along
and wrecked the whole thing.
No, you came along and you balanced that 50% that was missing.
I don't know about balanced. I think I upset the balance a little bit.
No, you balanced it.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. You're just saying that because of the fact that we're recording. Yeah, we're recording.
Because I have to.
Yeah, we're recording this into microphones.
Am I putting
right
you
now.
on blast? Is that what I'm doing?
Probably. But so then the idea was that you did a lot of the hard work. So how were you doing the hard work up front? The hard work of making sure that the parenting that you were doing was not for instant success, but for long-term results. Let me ask you actually, before we even get there, did you have that in mind or was it just like, I'm just trying to survive the day?
In all honesty, I just didn't want to be like my biological mother. I was terrified to have children in the first place because I was afraid of ending up like her. Mm. And I wanted kids to know that they were loved. Mm. I wanted kids to know, that they could have balance of discipline. They could have balance of having a parent present. Mm. And in all honesty, I don't consider it the hard work. I know you always say you did the hard work. I feel like the teenage years, that's the hard work.
And we're going to get to that.
Yeah. But when they were little, it was, let me keep them alive.
Well, hold on, because I think I want to stop there because parenting it's repetition.
Yeah.
It is, it is doing the thing you talked about, praying, but it's also the meals, but it's also the weekends, but it's also the sports, but it's it's the rhythm. It's a repetition thing, and I think a lot of people think like, oh man, we don't have to put your sister on blast here again, but like I think a lot of people feel like parenting has to be this. Like as the mom, I need to be cool. As the dad, I need to be cool. We need to be doing hip, cool things all the time. And we need to be like, and that's, it's cool to do things, but like parenting, I think, needs to feel repetitive.
Yeah.
It needs to feel that's not discouraging. It doesn't mean that you're unfinished as a person. It just means that like that's what God does too. God has a rhythm of every 7 days. You take a Sabbath. It's every 365 days. There's seasons. There's rhythms that are built into God's thing. So okay. So I want to get back to what you were saying then. So like, what were some of the rhythms that you established before? Pre-Andy, yeah.
It was daily routines of having bedtimes, having nap times, having, if the kids got in trouble, they were disciplined, but they were also given a choice of whether to make good choices or bad choices, and knowing there were consequences.
Let's talk about that discipline real quick, because I think that's huge. People think discipline is this like, well, I swatted them, or I made sure that I punished them. I took away their something.
Yeah.
And immediately everything's fixed. And I don't think that's the way that you saw it. You talked about giving them a choice. Can you walk me through what that means?
So they would have a choice. They were disobeying, and I never yelled. I whispered.
Which is even more terrifying.
I would call them over, and I would just say, listen, you have a choice. You can either choose to obey, or you can choose to get a consequence. And it was never like saying you're being punished. It was saying you have a choice, obey or consequence. Which one would you like? And 9 times out of 10, it was I obey. Carter was not the one who chose to obey.
Most of the time he did.
Most of the time. He was the child that pushed the limits sometimes.
Well, in a lot of ways.
Not always, but it was just, it was, and I feel like that taught them the balance between right and wrong, the balance between of, if I do this right, then I get praised, and mom's, there's not going to be a consequence. So it was just, it's interesting. It's like now that the kids are 21, 19 and 16. I was going out of order. I have forgotten a whole lot. I don't remember everything. And maybe that's just because I'm almost 50 years old and I can't remember much. I don't remember yesterday, but looking at our kids now and seeing the choices that they make in their life now, I know that how I raised them, the pre-years, pre-you, and then you coming in as well, and how we raised them has a huge impact on who they are today.
Yeah, I agree. Well, maybe I don't agree about that. But I want to dig in a little bit to some of the things that happened in our parenting life after I got here. So one of the questions that Paul David Tripp raises is that he says God is patient, far more patient than we ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we often put, he will say, hey, I'm everlasting in my faithful, I am the Lord Almighty, firm foundation, everlasting in my love and faithfulness, and to the nth degree, whatever. And yet we have conversations with our kids, and it's like, I expect you immediately to change. And one of them, well, let me ask you the question. Has there ever been one of those like times when we've had a conversation, expected things to immediately change, and they didn't?
There was, and she's probably going to hear me right now because she just popped her head over. But yes, it was Grace.
Yeah, of course.
And she's over there like looking at like,
Grace is home for Christmas. Well, sort of home.
Well, she's home for the weekend.
Yeah, she's home for the weekend, and then she'll be home for Christmas.
And by the way, she makes amazing choices and decisions, but there was one point where she did not. And I think that we kind of expected her to just keep making the right choices and decisions at this one point in time, but she didn't. And
do you want to explain it?
She's giving me the eyes now. Do I have your permission?
No, nobody's going to listen to this.
No one's going to listen to this. She said, sure. Okay.
You don't have to give any names.
I won't give any names. We will call him
Jerry.
Roberto.
There
was an older boy Grace was a freshman in high school, and she just blossomed. She got her braces off. She joined the track team. She had long, beautiful legs. Still does. Just blonde.
I don't like you talking about her that way.
Well, she's of my loins, so I can
Whoa.
say that.
Whoa.
No, she came into her own, and she caught the eye of a senior boy, Roberto.
Roberto sucked.
Yeah, Roberto sucked. He did. And Roberto just definitely had interest in Grace, but we have a rule in our house that you don't date. You don't even have a boyfriend until you're 16, because I'm sorry, where are you going to go? To the cafeteria?
Yep.
Like, what, are you going to go to the library together?
Got other things to worry about.
Like, let's go eat lunch in the cafeteria. I'll buy $2.20 lunch.
Right.
Done.
Right.
But so we have a rule, and it's just, you have more than enough time later in life to get your heart broken.
Oh yeah.
And she really liked this boy, Roberto. And I think it was more about having someone interested in her and having that attention. And it did not go very well because of the rules we have set in our house. And
there were many conversations.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I think, did we take her phone away?
Oh, we took the phone away, especially after she says twice. We took the phone away twice. But she was basically messaging him, and she was, I tell you what, hold on. No. I didn't finish that. So hold on. She knew, and she was very respectful of this. She never gave him her number. So she utilized her friends.
It's true.
To
subterfuge.
You gotta let me finish my sentence there, Bug. But so she was utilizing her friends to contact him. And so I'm sitting here thinking, here is this 18-year-old boy who is messaging Grace through friends and can't even have her number. And I'm like, why in the world would he still even be interested? And so we figured it was going to be, a stop to it, but it wasn't.
Did not.
And then the best part was that she, in her text messages, because she knew that we read her phone, she was changing names of Roberto to Brandon. Oh, Braden.
Braden? Why did you choose Braden?
It was a name. It was better than Roberto, I guess.
Yeah.
And so she was lying. And then she was also leaving class to go meet him in the hallway. And
that's true. I forgot about that.
Yep. And I think that we were doing great. We were fine. It was over, so we thought. And when Grace and I were sitting down having a talk one night, I asked her a question straight up. I can't remember the question, but I asked her a question about him. And within 1 minute of her replying, she looks at me. She's like, "Mom, I just lied." I'm sorry, what? I just lied. I was like, you lied to my face. You lied to me. And I think that was my breaking point. And I said some things. I didn't yell, but I was very stern in my words. And she's giving me the look. I made her cry.
Good.
Huh?
I did say good.
He said good. And so I just said, all right, I'm done. I'm like, you want to date him? Go date him. I said, just do me one favor. Don't get pregnant. I said, and there was other things I said, and I just walked out the door and she was bawling her eyes out. And I go in the room and you were like, what did you say to her? And I told you, then you're all mad at me. I can't believe you said that to her. Why would you say that?
Hold on.
No. Yes, this was. And I said, I'm going to bed. And then you're like,
you did say that.
And you were like, well, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm like, okay, fine. That's great. I'm going to bed. And so then you go downstairs and you come back upstairs. You're like, I'm not sleeping downstairs. I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm going to bed. I was done. Mm-hmm. I was at my breaking point. I was done. Mm-hmm. And it took a little bit. And I remember the day that I picked Grace up from track and I just saw her face and she just looked crushed. And she got in the car and I knew. And she just said, he's dating somebody. There's videos on TikTok. I think it was TikTok or whatever, Snap or whatever the socials the kids did then. And her heart was broken. And
Shocking.
that moment right there was what I wanted to protect her from.
Shocking. Yeah. And
because she was a 14-year-old girl who had already had her heart broken by one person. And it was the one person who should never break your heart. And she's now going through this again.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that kids don't know what they don't know, right? Like they don't.
Yeah.
We didn't have this draconian like, hey, you can't date till you're 16 rule, because it's like 16 is the magical age where you become a man or a woman.
Yeah.
It was, you got to get through some stuff first.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be going into high school, and high school is a completely different world. And you're outside of battling through all of the hormones and all of that other stuff. Like we need you to focus on school.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to focus on your driver's test.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to focus on extracurricular activities. And then more than that, we need you to focus on God.
Yeah.
Like those are the things that you need to be putting in place. And trying to tell the kids that, I'm going to go back to a Grace story real quick, but like in
she just goes, oh, and then she leans her head out.
well, in 5th grade, she told me that she knew her rights.
Oh, yes. I remember this.
Yeah. And she was sitting in her bedroom, and she said, I've been learning about rights. And I don't even remember what the argument was about, but she said, I know my rights. And I said, oh, do you? And she said, yes, I've been learning about it in government. And I said, cool. Well, you also know that my rights as the mortgage owner and the one who bought this bed, I said, it's my bed. So I have a right to take away your bed. I have a right to take away your dresser. I have a right to take away all of these things because they all belong to me. Mm-hmm. And I have a right to that door. And I kind of went off on her a little bit. That was an instant change. She instantly changed then. That was not a conversation. But you know, kids, they, and I think it's just for all of us too. And I think God kind of shakes his head at us because like we're spiritually blind. Mm-hmm. We don't know what we don't know. We're praying for God. Like, hey, I want that new job. I want that new toy. I want that new thing. And I want it now. Yeah. And God's going like, you don't understand. Like there's a reason I have these rules set up, these rules of like fidelity in marriage and how to handle your finances and how to treat other people. It's not because like I want to be draconian and want to make it so that you can't have fun.
Well, where did you just use?
Draconian. Draconian means.
Yeah, tell me what that means, because you
means
and your
like,
words.
Like a dictator. Okay.
I wasn't dictating what you were saying with your words, by the way.
You've seen Harry Potter with Draco Malfoy?
Yes,
yeah,
I have.
But Draco is kind of he's a dictator.
Okay. Yeah.
So think of it that way.
Okay.
But I think we're going to start to wrap up here, but there's kind of like the we need to remember that parenting is the process of things.
It's patience. It's endurance. It's not one and done. You will never be that one and done. Pursue your kids. Have conversations with them. Have the hard conversations with them. And it's not going to be this, oh, I fixed it. I just had the one talk with her and I'm going to walk away. Because that's what my parents did. I didn't want to be that. Right. I wanted to be more.
Right. And, you know, we're going to screw our kids, and we have screwed them up in 1,000 other ways.
Everybody screws their kids up.
Yeah. But the things I think we like to say is that we're by no means perfect at this, but like I like to think that we have had a process mentality in certain things. Mm-hmm. I have had a process mentality with Austin, our oldest, and there are things we've talked about in different seasons that it has been a process. We're kind of in that with Carter right now, who's driving. Like we had the open and honest and hard conversations with him about, hey, you're literally driving a missile. You're piloting a missile when you're behind the wheel of a car. And yeah, we're trying to scare him a little bit, but I said, hey, like, and we make him sign a contract. And part of the contract is, this is a conversation. This is an agreement, but this is also a conversation. These things are willing to flex as you gain our trust a little bit more, as you take a little bit more responsibility, as you show that you're able to handle this responsibility. It was the same with a phone. Like, you know, we didn't allow them social media until 17 because we needed to see that we could trust them with communications and all sorts of stuff. But I think the biggest thing that we need to do as parents is we need to be proactive in this. I think a lot of times we get behind the 8 ball. We're exhausted. We're running 15 different places. We're taking them to 6 different things. We have all of these things set up, and we forget that parenting is setting up guardrails so that those kids can become well-adjusted adults. It is not to make sure that I can impose my will over somebody, and that's tough. Right. As especially as a guy, I don't know how it is as a woman, but as a guy, I feel like we're genetically predisposed to want to exert our will over things. And we have to remember that God doesn't exert his will over us. God's a perfect gentleman. Like if we don't want to follow him, he goes, yeah, okay. Like that's up to you. That is your choice. And yeah, there's pushes and nudges and the Holy Spirit and all this other stuff, conviction. But by and large, if I say no to God, God goes, yeah, okay, that's up to you. That is your choice. Like true love is not pressuring me to do something.
Yeah.
True love is allowing me to make that choice. And I think the last thing that we need to remember is that we can't parent emotionally.
No, you can't.
Because, and I think you and I both fall into this trap, but parenting emotionally, that's like the worst thing you can do. Like
that was like the situation with Grace. Emotion took over, and it was, I would say that was the hardest parenting that in the entire 21 years of being a parent.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. Well, anything else to add to this rousing?
She's amazing. I just want to say this. She's the choices that she has made.
Are you saying that because she's sitting right there?
No, I would say it even if she wasn't.
Okay, good.
But
good
she's, I'm very proud of her, of who she's become.
All three of them.
Yeah, all three of them are amazing. They've, for what they have walked through and what they're continuing to walk through right now.
Not with me.
Not
with me. I'm leaning into the mic closely. It's not with me.
No, just they're amazing kids, and I couldn't be more proud. So
I agree.
And you helped with that.
Yeah, I mean,
just
a little bit.
No,
I did like 10. Like, here's the thing.
He just counts himself a lot, way more than.
No, discounting would say I had no change. Like I or no responsibility. I think I had like 10%.
No, you don't give yourself enough credit.
I'm giving myself 10% of the credit.
Exactly. You don't give yourself enough credit.
That's way more than most dads get.
You get way more credit than that.
We're going to end this episode. Thanks so much for listening. I think next time is Pastor Mark and
What'd
Jen.
you just say? She says she agrees.
I don't know with what.
With me.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. One of the big things that we need to be on the lookout for. I mean, we're in the holiday season too, is that I know things are tough, and kids, if you're homeschooling kids, they're already home anyway. But if you have kids and they're in school, they're going to be out of school for a couple of weeks. Don't look at it as, oh gosh, I just got to get through this. Look at it as this is a time to have some of these conversations, but also just to enjoy each other.
Because it goes by fast.
It goes by fast, man. The days are long and the years are short. And
now I count down to when they come home.
Yeah. I mean, we have a 16-year-old who he's driving now, and like, I don't have to pick him up. It's a blessing because I don't have to pick him up from robotics most of the time unless his battery dies and I got to go fix the car. But also, like, I don't spend an hour in the car with him anymore. And that's like, there was 2 days this week I barely even saw him.
We're no longer needed.
Well, we're needed. Because we have to pay for insurance and we have to fix the car and all that. But yeah, not as much. So just make sure you hold on to these times. We're waxing poetical or waxing lyrical here. We love you guys. Thanks so much for joining in here on this episode. Stay tuned for next month for Pastor Mark and Jen with another amazing episode of Call to Parent. Until then, Merry Christmas. How do you feel about the whole like Happy Holidays thing?
It's Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Like that's what I celebrate. That's what I say.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We love you. We'll see you in the new year. Goodbye.
Bye.